Tamika Thompson is the author of speculative fiction collection Unshod, Cackling, and Naked, which Publishers Weekly calls powerful, unsettling, and terrifying, and the author of the horror novella Salamander Justice. Her work has appeared in several speculative fiction anthologies, as well as in Interzone, Prairie Schooner, and the New York Times, among others. Tamika, go ahead.
Thank you, everybody, for coming today. I'm recovering from a cold, so I'm a little hoarse, but hopefully it won't cause too much commotion. The excerpt I'm going to read for you is from the first story in my collection. The story is called The Turn, and it opens with the main character in an on-again, off-again relationship with their ex-boyfriend, Micah. The main character has begun noticing strange signs involving the dogs in the town where they live. The parking lot at the assisted living home where I organized activities and coordinated meal times for seniors became littered with missing dog flyers, some large, others small, and with varying display techniques, tacked up on telephone poles, taped to doors, and thrust under wiper blades on car windshields. Entire windows were plastered with the signs. Some light poles held up flyers of 4 or 5 family dogs: poodle, Pomeranian, Pekingese, and pug. No one knew where they'd gone, but the nights were filled with distant howls that lasted for hours. It was as if there was a dog convention out yonder and humans couldn't find it. The dogs who remained with their owners grew isolated and antisocial. Folks who were used to their pooch climbing in bed with them noticed their dog would find a corner in a room all to itself and sleep there instead. Their pets no longer rose and greeted them at the door when they entered. The dogs were fine physically, eating heartily, with regular digestive systems, ran when they were outside, and interacted with one another as usual, playing, cuddling, fighting to maintain rank. They just seemed uninterested in the humans who filled their lives. One morning, a black and rust Doberman pinscher showed up on my porch and stared at me through the picture window. Eating a banana nut muffin and sipping coffee in my kitchen, I felt the dog's gaze on me before I noticed it was there. And when we locked eyes, I dropped the muffin and the mug. The shards scattered across the tile. One swiped my ankle and drew blood. When I searched the window again, the Doberman was gone. A month later, I saw a news article about dogs dying from an odd illness in which they no longer rose to eat and play each day until eventually they just stopped breathing. Vets performed autopsies and sent samples to labs, and that's how the microbe was discovered. Social media was filled with teary-eyed owners posting about their dead fur babies. Some folks held doggy funerals, and others decided to make video tributes to their pups ahead of their demise. The dogs that had run away all seemed fine. Micah and I joked that the dogs had probably developed an allergy to humans. The night howling grew in volume and sounded closer than what I remembered in the beginning. Then one evening, the residents at my job were having a cutest dog contest in which they dressed up their pets in doggy gowns and tiaras and made them model down the dog run for bone-shaped biscuits. Though I'd been asked, I refused to judge the pageant and had to restrain myself from stripping off the dog's garments, opening the iron entry gates and setting them loose. As I cleared up morsels of beef treats, ruffled puppy boas, and squeaky rubber ball toys from the activity lounge, Mrs. Petrosky nodded off in the corner, but woke when she heard the distant animal calls. She rose from the rocking chair with creaking bones and an unsteady gait and attempted to hurry down the hall to her apartment. "Everything okay, Mrs. Petrosky?" I followed her. It wasn't like her to move about so quickly. And this was the most I'd seen her walk without her cane in the 4 years I'd worked at New Adventures Assisted Living. He'll scratch a hole in the wood if I don't let him out. She unlocked her apartment, and her golden retriever Henry leapt out of the front door, throwing the woman off balance and knocking her to the floor. Henry dashed down the hallway, and when he came to the glass double doors that led to the parking lot, he raised on his hind legs and used his front paws to push the metal bar to open them. I rushed to Mrs. Petrosky, who'd landed on her bottom hard enough to dislodge her dentures and send her wig flying to the carpet. I helped her up and into her unit. Luckily, she was uninjured, but her hands trembled. Whenever he hears the others, he goes crazy. It's not like he's never heard howls before, but with this, it's like they're calling him. Who? The pack. Does he usually come right back? I eased her onto the couch and grabbed her a glass of water. She shook her head, handed the glass back to me, and pointed to a bottle of cognac on her counter. Get 2 glasses. She wrung her hands as I poured shots for both of us. Since it all started, every night, Henry raises his head at the sound, stares at the window, and then, instead of howling back like a sensible mutt, he scratches at the door until I wake up and let him out. Then hours later, as I get myself to the bathroom for my nighttime routine, get the linens ready, and I'm just about to climb in bed, he's back, scratching at the door. What do you think he does out there? I don't know, but one time he returned with blood on him. I searched his fur from head to toe, but didn't find any cuts. Isn't this all so strange, dear? Henry did not come back that evening. 2 days later, the turn occurred. Thank you. For the giveaway, I am offering a signed paperback copy of my collection, Unshod, Cackling, and Naked, Where the Turn Came From, in addition to some other books. So hopefully you guys fill out that form.